Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today for our next week of the Word Guru. I am Mrs. Cosins, and I'm a teacher at Swansboro, so thanks for joining me. So let's get started with our goal for this session. After this short lesson, you will be able to say that you can apply knowledge of roots to decode unknown words with the same root. So before we get into that strategy and that lesson, let's talk about our word for the week. The word I want you to think about this week is grit. Let's break down that word a little bit more to add some more meaning. When I look at this four-letter word grit, I see one vowel sound, and when I say it, I can hear it's only one syllable, grit. The definition of grit is the ability to keep working toward your goals even while facing challenges to reach those goals. So when I think of grit, I'm thinking about courage, bravery, the ability and the strength to reach my goals, even when I have to deal with a lot of hard things in the way to get there. Grit is something that you show or that you have. So it is a thing, which we know is a noun. A noun is a person, place, or thing. My example sentence for grit is I showed grit when I ran 2 miles. I had to train, walk sometimes, and push myself, but I kept working until I reached my goal. I would like you to pause the video or come back after you've watched the entire thing. I'd like you to write down a sentence of a time where you showed grit. So that can be using a notebook on your laptop, somewhere that you have an ability to write. Come up with your own example of grit. Okay? All right, now let's go into our vocabulary strategy for the week. Today, we're going to be talking about Greek and Latin roots. So let's talk about what roots are before we get into our practice. Roots are word parts that help readers understand the meaning of words. You might have heard of root words before, and root words are similar, except root words are words without anything else. Roots are not always words on their own. They have to be embedded into a word in order to be a full word. So let's talk about what that actually looks like. An example of a root is multi, which means many. You might have seen that root multi in many other words. For example, the word multi-purpose means many purposes, okay? But the root multi is not a word on its own. So to add a little bit more meaning to this lesson and to roots and why they are important is because many of the English words that we have come from Greek and Latin languages. So the roots that our words are made up of, that basic word part, comes from those languages. So let's talk about some examples of these. For this chart, we're going to have 2 of these. This slide is going to be me modeling, and the next one is going to be kind of our practice and our check-in. So the word bank is going to help us understand the definitions. And then we're going to have roots and their meanings. So the root bene means good. The root is bene. It's not a word on its own, but it's a basic word part. And this is going to be the sentence that has the root n in it. The underlined word has the root bene in it. James realized that studying for the test would be beneficial for his grade. So I can use the word bank to help me out here, but I need to match the definition of the underlined word with a word from the word bank that fits in with our root and its definition. Well, I take that basic root bene, which I know means good. I look at the word beneficial in the context of that sentence. He's studying for a test. I know that that's going to be good for his grade. So the best option for the definition of beneficial, which I know stems from that root good, would be helpful. Okay, see how I did that? All right, for my next root, and its meaning or definition is auto. That's the root, and that means self. So here's an example of that root in a word. My autobiography would include my birthday, where I grew up, and my biggest accomplishments. So I know the root auto means self. I know the word autobiography from language arts, and I know that that's going to include my birthday, where I grew up, and my biggest accomplishments. So I can use the word bank to help me, but I'm going to know from that root definition that an autobiography is going to be a biography of your life. In that case, that would be my life if I was writing it. Okay, my last example here is the root struct, which means build. I see this sentence with the underlined word that says, during recess, Noah decided to construct a colorful Lego creation. I've definitely heard that word construct before, and I know that the root struct means build. So I can make the connection really easily that if I'm constructing something, I'm building it. Okay? I'd like you to use the same strategy. Now we're going to do it on our own. I'm going to put up the word bank, the root definitions, and their sentences. And I'd like you to, you can draw this chart, you can follow along with me, you can write it down, or you can use your Chromebook. I'd like you to match the word bank words with their matching root and definition. So the root here is astro, which means star. Here's the sentence that goes along with it. I'd like you to read that sentence and match the definition. The next root is form, which means shape. I'd like you to match that sentence with the root in it with the definition, formation. And last but not least, I'd like you to match, we know the root is fort, which means strong. The word is fortitude. I'd like you to read that sentence and match the definition. Okay? I'd like you to pause the video now so you can have your time to work. And then whenever you play it, I'm going to review the definitions of our underlined words. Okay, so you are back. You've had the chance to fill that in either by drawing the chart or typing in your Chromebook or another way that suits you. So let's go over our definitions. If I know the root astro means star and the word is astronaut, I can easily match that with space traveler as the definition for astronaut. Remember, that root is going to give me a clue for the meaning of the word. I see the root astro means star. Stars are in space. I know that that's going to match a space traveler. For the next root form, that's going to mean shape. So formation is going to have something to do with the word shape. A formation is an arrangement. When I'm arranging something, I'm making it into a shape. The formation in this was a line, which is an arrangement or a shape. Last but not least, I know the root fort means strong. The word, fortitude would mean strength. I know that root fort means strong. Okay? I'm so glad you had that practice. And now it's your turn. There is an independent practice Google form that has 4 questions on it. They're exactly the same format as the ones that we just did, but now it's your turn to try it on your own. So you can either pause the video and write down this link, you can type it into your URL search bar, or you can do it on your phone. The link to go to is bit.ly/RPS at home 2020. I'll say that again, bit.ly/RPS at home 2020. Please try those questions. See what all of the work that you've done on Greek and Latin roots. And you guys did an awesome job today. So thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to see your responses on the Google form. Thanks again. Bye.